According to social contract theory, the first objective fact about humans is that we are selfish. We are selfish creatures. In other words, ultimately, each human being is looking out for him or herself, and perhaps, him or his or hers immediate family and friends. Um, but the idea here is that essentially human beings are not altruistic creatures. According to social contract theory, when we do something like, help an elderly person cross the street or hold the door open for someone, we are not doing that out of the goodness of our heart. Essentially, we are doing it out of selfishness. There's something we are getting out of performing those acts. And according to social contract theory, this is an aspect of human nature which we cannot escape. We are selfish whether we like it or not, and we should recognize that. Um, the second objective fact about humans, according to social contract theory, is that each human being wants to live the best life possible. We want life to be as enjoyable or perhaps as easy as it can be. In other words, we don't want to have hardships. We don't want to have our life threatened or to be put in danger. Um, we want to lead and live the best life possible, whatever that might be. And maybe each human being would define what it means to lead the best life possible in a different way. Maybe we'd each define it in a different way. But ultimately, no matter who you are, if you're a human being, you want to lead the best life possible. The final objective fact about humans, according to social contract theory, is that we are rational beings. Um, and so, in other words, as rational beings, we generally have what it takes to determine or to rationalize what would lead to the best life possible. And so, according to social contract theory, as rational beings, we can understand that the state of nature, as it's described by Thomas Hobbes, is not an ideal place to live. Living in the state of nature does not provide the best life possible. As Thomas Hobbes says, a life in the state of nature is nasty, solitary, brutish, and short. It's not going to be very pleasant to live this kind of life outside of society or without society and society's resources. So, as rational beings, we are able to recognize the value of society and societal living. And even though by joining society, you have to sacrifice some of your freedoms. Even though you have to sacrifice some of your freedoms, according to social contract theory, we as rational beings will choose to do that. We will choose to join society and sacrifice our freedom, say, to kill other people. You're not free to murder in society. We will sacrifice that freedom for our own benefit, for selfish reasons. And if you think about this, I think you'd see it's true, right? You probably agree not to murder, at least in part, because you yourself do not want to be murdered. And so joining a society that prohibits murder actually provides you yourself, selfishly, with more protection. And yes, you have to sacrifice a little bit of your freedom to live in society, but ultimately the protections that you get in return, the benefits that you get in return for contributing to society and abiding by the laws of society outweigh whatever sacrifices you have to make. In other words, in order to lead the best life possible, you should join society, follow the rules of society, the moral and legal rules of society, and that would essentially cut down on your suffering, and it would make your life as good as possible. And as a rational person, you should see that this is true.